Hello, my wonderful, beautiful brothers of the Maverick Nation, and welcome to part 3 of What If Naruto Had the Curse Mark and Sasuke Had the Nine Tails. Part 3 of that. Part 3 of What If Naruto Had the Curse Mark and Sasuke Had the Nine Tails. Last time we left off, basically, it was on like Donkey Kong. Naruto just played a little game of Operation with Neji. And Sasuke is now currently freaking the frick out about the whole Shikaku situation. And yeah, about that. Currently, our friend here, the antibody version, which is now taking complete control over Naruto, is pretty close to Shikakugara. Shikaku's like, yeah, I'm finally free. Who are you? Shikaku's like, what? Who are you? And the antibody Naruto's just like, well, we're gonna have to do this again. Or I could just... And then the antibody just teleports straight in front of Gaara. And just... John boom! Freaking mollywops the hell out of him. And just sends him straight back into his consciousness. And Shikaku's like, but I just got here. He gets even less screen time than before in the original. He's just like, boop, boom, and now Shikaku is gone. And the antibody is really just feeling unfulfilled. Like, man, Shikaku couldn't even be really that much of a challenge for me. He left his weak spot right out in the open. Yeah, Shikaku never really was that smart. At least that's what I knew from the Fox. And the antibody is more or less just annoyed. And basically everything like that happens like it does in the original afterwards. And basically till we get to how it happens with Naruto's Rasengan training, with how he has that bet against Tsunade and the whole thing with Itachi and Kisame. Well, the Itachi and Kisame bit happens before, but what happens with this is, uh, while Naruto is in the hotel, before Itachi and Kasama actually get to them, Naruto lays it on the antibody pretty quick, how he just he literally has a kunai and he's about to slit his own throat and he's like, I I don't even want to be the Hokage anymore. It's not worth it. He's basically like, if I have to deal with you, if I have to deal with this nuke constantly hanging over my head, it's not worth it. And the antibody is just like, well, do you think I wanted to be born this way? Do you think I even wanted to be born in general? Why is it that you think I always want to be your friend, but in these ways that you seem to find so immoral and repulsive? Well, Naruto boy, It's because that I was created from the explosive reaction of all of those different chakras, especially the curse mark and the nine tails. And Naruto's like, wait, so you're kind of like a you're kind of like a weird, twisted version of a problem child? And the antibody's just like, wait, what? And Naruto's just like, well, yeah, basically, what I get from what you're saying is that, well, you want to be my friend, but because of the way that you were created and the whole nature versus nurture thing, the way that you go about doing it is something that you really can't control. It's sort of embedded into you. Is is that is that what I'm getting at? Is that what it is? And the antibody is like, I guess you could say that. It indeed does tick me off that. Uh, what? And now it's just like, wait, is there something wrong? And the antibody's just like, two powers. They're here for us. They believe you still have the fox among you. They are not aware of you know what. And Naruto is like, they aren't aware of you? Well then, maybe I guess we should take advantage of that. And the antibody is like, well, this is new for you. And Naruto is like, well, consider this. If the whole problem with you is that you're more or less a problem child, someone who can't really express themselves without it seeming uh, very just not right, then maybe we should try to find a way to meet in the middle, be able to understand each other. And maybe if I were to be more accepting of your help, because if you think about it, I really haven't been. And the antibody just like, so you want me to help you? And then they both just hear, Itachi! And they're both just like, Sasuke? And Sasuke's just running after him like, Chidori! And just gets his arm broken. And Naruto sees this happen and he's like, you hurt Sasuke. You hurt my friend. And the antibody just sees like as ample time to just like, you you think this would be the correct time to let loose? And Naruto's just like, more than ever now. I don't care what you do whenever you have full control. Just make sure, whatever it is, it's aimed at that bastard and his friend over there. And the antibody is like, oh, Mr. Penville Eyes and the fish stick. Very well then. Control seal activate. And Naruto's like, wait, what? What seal activate? Ugh. Good. Now that we're on equal terms on how we want this to go, you were the one who said I could do whatever I wanted, as long as it was directed at them. Itachi. And Itachi just looks over and he's like, "Hey, Kisame, isn't that the Kyuubi kid?" And Kisame's like, "Yeah, it is the Kyuubi kid." And the antibody is just like, and Itachi can see like this buildup of chakra, and he's like, "Fireball jutsu!" And now, and the antibody just like, "Great breakthrough!" And basically, Itachi was seeing it about to use the great breakthrough, so that's why he used the fireball jutsu. But the great breakthrough that the antibody created was so powerful, and the fire actually made it even more powerful. It enhanced it, and it kind of consumed Itachi's original fireball jutsu. And so he had to be like, Amaterasu. And he's like, Amaterasu, and it's like spinning through the fireball jutsu. And like right as it's about to hit the antibody just disappears and is behind Itachi. And he's like, "Oh, well. Look what we have here." And Itachi's like, "Yes, I can see that." And he just grabs Sasuke by his already broken arm. You can just hear him screaming. And just chucks him. Whoosh. And the reason why he does that is because of this. You're like, Katsu. Boom! Exploding shadow clone. But the antibody, even though it looks like the upper part of its body was blown off, soon Kisame begins to realize that, oh my god, it's regenerating. The Kyuubi kid can regenerate. And wow, that was fast. Wow, we did not do a damn thing to him. And the antibody's just like, Kyuubi kid? Don't you insult me, mother.
Hey, I just refreshed this. Would you like it? Full Mountain Dew. I just refreshed it. Well, it's wet, and I don't want you getting it all over that bed. So can I set it somewhere? Here, I'm gonna set it. Right here on here. You're welcome.
Love you.
Would you like a snack?
That's my dad.
I didn't know you were taking, so would you like a snack?
Yeah, sure. After I'm done recording.
Okay, well, I'm gonna give them to you right now because I only do a couple things. Okay, I'm just gonna give you a couple snacks.
Yes, this what if will resume after my dad's done doing what he's doing. Thanks.
Yep, just remember the garbage goes in garbage. Thank you.
Welcome. Love you too. Thank you. You're welcome. Anyways, now restarting. Basically, Kisame just realized, wow, he regenerated and fast, and we did nothing to him. And basically, the antibody's just like, Kyuubi kid? you numbnuts don't even realize what you're in for, do you? The Kyuubi kid, I am no longer. Or should I say, we are no longer the Kyuubi kid. And Itachi's like, huh? If you're not Naruto, then. And then the antibody just stops him right there, and he's like, Oh, we're Naruto. Just the Kyuubi has bitten the dust quite permanently this time around, you should say. It's said that you can't kill a tailed beast. Well, uh, the skeletal remains of the damn thing that are inside this poor boy's mindscape beg to differ. And if you don't believe me, Tachi, go ahead. I can sense you were about to genjutsu your own brother. See if it works on us. And Kisame is like, why do you keep on talking like you're two different people in the same person? I mean, that's just weird. Shut up, you stupid kid. And Itachi's just like, Kisame, just, if he really wants this, I see no reason not to. Tsukiyomi, 72 hours of torture. But Itachi soon begins to realize something very weird. Instead of being like inside of the Tsukiyomi 72 hours of torture realm thing, he's inside of Naruto's mindscape. And in front of him is the antibody Naruto that he was facing. And behind the cage that he can see that the antibody Naruto is in front of are the skeletal remains of the nine-tailed fox, sans the skull. Because remember, it got crushed into dust. And the antibody Naruto is just like, tick, tock, tick, tock, tick, tock, tick, tock. Time's up, Uchiha. And Itachi's like, what is this? I use my genjutsu. This isn't my genjutsu. And Itachi's trying to figure this out, but he can't. It's like he can't seem to figure it out. But the antibody's just like, oh, poor Itachi. I guess he'll be the the third to pass through. Ah. Collect. And he just holds his finger up, and Itachi sees he sees his two eyes in front of him. One with like a hole through the chest, and one which is like all sorts of mangled up. He can barely tell who it is. But what he can see is a sound ninja headband on it, like on like the real mangled up, like real, like just ewy looking body. And on the one with the hole through the torso, you can see that it's a leaf ninja. It's like the headband is like barely dangling off the head, and you can see on the forehead of the leaf ninja is like almost like a remnant of the caged bird seal. It's like it's not there anymore. It's just like a remnant is left. And Itachi's like, what is this? I'm supposed to have control over the genjutsu. And Antibody just like, and you were supposed to be a genius. Very well then, away with you. And Itachi just gets popped out of the freaking mind screwy, which is the antibody just messing with his head. And Itachi just is like, ugh, Kisame, we need to leave right now. It's not worth coming after him now if he doesn't have the Kyuubi in him anymore. And Kisame is like, Wait, wasn't the thing in two halves and one of them was in your brother? And Itachi's like, even if that is true, which I highly doubt, it's not worth it. And Itachi's like coughing up blood. He got screwed over so bad. Kisame. Ugh. And he just falls to the floor. And Kisame, like, Samehada, uses Samehada to, like, stop his fall. And he's just like, fine. And so basically, by the time, like, Guy and Jiraiya and whoever else get there, the problem's already been resolved. And so, yeah, that's that. That happened. That happened a lot. That there did happen. And that is the end of this part 3 of What If Naruto Had the Curse Mark and Sasuke Had the Nine Tails. Part 3. Finn. Deuces.